This is the 2026 BMW XM, and it's a little bit confusing. I drove the XM when it first came out, and I didn't love it because it confused me. It was not as comfortable and luxurious as an Alpina XB7. It was not as dynamic and sporty as an X5M Competition, but it's pretty dang expensive. It is very, very fast. It looks polarizing. It's bold. It's got some nice luxury, but who exactly is it for, right? This one here is expensive. It's optioned to just over $160,000. And what exactly is the XM? Well, it's an exclusive M-only model, meaning there is no regular non-M version. If you look at the rest of the lineup, X is the SUV nomenclature, right? So you have the X3, X5, X6, and so forth. And then there'll be M versions of it. We all know what M is, right? BMW's legendary performance division. So you have an X5M, you have an X6M, you have the M3, M5, and so forth. But the XM is literally just this. This is it. Now, when it first came out, there were two flavors of it. There was the regular one, and then the all-out label red label, whatever they called it. Then it became just the XM label. Now, it's only in one version now. It is fast, 738 horsepower and 738 pound-feet of torque. This was almost like the preview to the current generation M5 and M5 Touring powertrain. It takes the S68, 4.4-liter twin-turbo V8, an engine you would find in the previous generation M5, the X5M Comp, X6M, and then they hybridized it with a proper-sized battery. It's a plug-in hybrid, so you get that total system output, which is a lot. I believe this is the most powerful M model in their history. But when you do a bespoke BMW M model, it has to be pretty special, right? What's the last one they did? The M1? Like, that is legendary. But this one here just always left me a little bit confused, and I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. I was just kind of like, huh. But anyways, it's been a couple years now, so we've got this one for a week to spend some time living with. The paint is pretty spectacular. This is Dravit Gray Metallic, which has so much metallic gold flake, and there's a lot of M logos. I counted 33, outside, inside, wheels, brakes, under the hood, interior, the charging cable bag. There's a lot of M logos. You're not gonna forget this is the XM, but what is it like to live with? Let's find out. My friend Alex is hosting a Cars and Coffee that I am very late for, so let's hop in the XM and make our way over there. The M welcome logo. All right, cold start. Plot twist, it's hybrid, so cold start is in electric mode. There we go. That's engine on. That's pretty loud. That R8. That is a very, very nice spec. Ooh. So Cars and Coffee is at the LaFontaine Vault, and there are some pretty cool cars at inventory. Matte Black S63 AMG R8 Spider. Nice lineup of AMGs, Porsches, BMW M cars, Range Rovers over there. They're also the Aston Martin dealers. Oh, look at that purple Vantage. And then the Alpina B8, which is spectacular. I love this. Now, this doesn't have the powertrain of the XM. This was still just a pure twin-turbo V8. Alpina fiddled with it. This is actually the M850i engine, but these are spectacular. Oh, and look at that spec. Oh my God, this purple is epic. Vantage S. And then, oh man, the XM is actually looking quite nice in the sun. This is Dravit Gray Metallic, and look at that gold flake. Wow. A little bit of SUV practicality. Borrowed my friend Alex's table saw, and he needs it back. So. You know, the trunk to the XM isn't actually that big for a decent-sized SUV. We do have this fancy duffel bag with the XM logo that is secured with a carabiner and a M-themed strap right here, but this is the charging stuff, so it sits back in there. But it's got a pretty high load floor. This person does not need a pickup truck. That's bold. Angel just flew in from a work conference, so we're heading down to DTW to pick her up. And then later tonight, we're gonna head out to a friend's house because we're doing fireworks at the lake. So nice relaxing Saturday evening. Be out and about in the XM. I'm interested to get Angel's thoughts on this because she did not like it the first time we had it. We did a pretty long road trip all the way up to Traverse City, and she thought it was a little too firm and uncomfortable. So let's see how she feels about it when we revisit it. And also, let's see if she remembers it and if she recognizes it. Hi, honey.
Hello.
Welcome home.
Thank you very much.
Nothing crazy. Oh, we got some turbo noises. Honey, do you remember this SUV?
Not particularly. We took a car like this to Traverse City, right?
Yes, it literally one of these. It was an XM
was it exactly like
label.
this one?
Yeah, this is just the newer model year one.
I remember it not being very comfortable.
Well, it was too firm, right?
It was too firm for a road
Kind of
trip
bouncy,
car.
right?
Yeah.
But it's got all the fancy things, but it was definitely a little too firm on a Michigan road trip. Maybe for on like perfectly smooth roads.
It definitely did not pass the Angel Comfort road trip test,
Really?
which is me napping in the car.
Highly scientific. If she falls asleep, that means it's comfortable enough. And you're able to fall asleep in most cars, right?
I still fell asleep in this car, but it just wasn't comfortable.
Wasn't as comfortable. Well, there's little pillows in the back.
Okay.
You could use the pillows.
Yeah.
That is one of my complaints. This thing, it is definitely firm. It's not on air suspension, coils with adaptive dampers, and it also has active anti-roll bars, I think. But over our terrible Michigan roads, it is very sharp impacts. You can hear and feel them. We're on 22-inch wheels. Pretty sure you can go up to 23s too, so it's not even the most low profile of tires, but this is definitely not a cushy luxury SUV, which makes sense, right? It's an M. So I don't fault them for it, right? But at the same time, an X5M handles a bit better. It drives smaller and lighter. It is, right? It's just kind of a interesting positioning and placement for the XM. Definitely on the aggressive side of sporty SUVs, but there are definitely some sporty SUVs that can still be comfortable. They exist,
like
usually. Air suspension. Well, it depends what level of sporty. I mean, Lamborghini Urus can actually be pretty comfortable.
Really?
Yes.
I don't think wait, have I been in one? No.
I don't think you've been in an Urus, but that's, again, not exactly for Urus. It's twice the price, but let's see, what's another? Cayenne? Cayennes are comfortable, right? Cayenne Turbo or something like that. Hi, honey. Would you like an XM pillow? It's like a little branded lumbar pillow.
Oh, cool. Wait, is it for, I guess it's for your head?
I think it's for lumbar.
Oh, like down here?
Yeah. You can do whatever you want with it. I didn't realize I married Jay Leno.
I don't even know who that is.
You don't know who Jay Leno is?
No, who is that?
Like a legendary late night host and massive car guy. He likes denim. He's always wearing denim.
Wearing all denim.
Yeah, jean jackets and jean shirts and jeans. Oh, this looks like it's too big for you.
It's supposed to be an oversized fit.
Did you actually steal it from Jay Leno? So the XM is a very modern SUV. Here are some less so. We've got older G-Wagon and older Defender. Oh man, these seats are crazy cool.
Oh my god, there isn't a ton of like head clearance, but wait, is this drooping down a little?
Yeah.
Yeah, older.
So the headliner, this is like one of the things.
Old Defender. Talk about character. We gotta do a video on this thing. Did you guys see that allegedly BMW might be working on like a body-on-frame trucky thing? Yeah. So like, what will BMW's version of an old Defender G-Wag?
They're using the BMW engine in the Defender now. So
That's
they're
true.
stealing our thunder. So
Yeah.
it obviously works.
We want N2. The problem is like Land Rover has history.
Yeah.
Mercedes has history. BMW doesn't have really history with these like military inspired, as far as I know, like these old
Wait,
trucks.
so which came first?
Defender, actually.
Defender, I think, was before G-Wagon, right?
But they didn't change the model code on this for how many years?
A long time. It was very, very long time. I've driven an old, Ronnie has a 1987 G-Wagon, the G250D. It does 0 to 60 in 27 seconds. It's slow, probably the slowest car I've ever driven, but I had a massive grin on my face doing 0 to 60 in 27 seconds. This brown is really cool too. Little cues from its Japanese history. Wait, you like this more than the modern Defender?
Way
Oh,
better
yeah.
than- I'm not a fan of the modern
Uh-oh.
Defender. It just looks like, I don't know, it looks old and just not, this is really cool.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a better
Yeah,
one.
and I like the way that the seats, like the layout of
The bus seats in the
Yeah,
back.
the bus
We should
seats
get
are
an
so
Ineos
cool.
Grenadier. I want to spend some more time with Ineos Grenadier.
We should
Yeah,
bring
because
back this design.
that the spirit of that is
Is this? Yeah, that's what this is. Yeah,
exactly.
because so the Ineos Grenadier, what happened was Land Rover stopped building this like old Defender, and this guy was this really wealthy billionaire was like, I want to build them. Land Rover's like, no, and he goes, all right, fine, I'll make my own version. So he essentially built like a ladder frame, slightly modernized
Because they said what
version.
you were saying, they changed it too much.
Yeah, it's unibody
The
now.
recipe changed too much from this to then.
So your Defender and G-Wagon definitely don't do this. We do have a new welcome lighting sequence when you unlock. So the massive kidney grills light up and then a little DRLs right there. Little sequence. And then we have the XM puddle lamps. But these, a lot of puddle lamps illuminate down from the mirror, but these are lower, so when you open the door, they stay. Oftentimes, puddle lamps, when they project from the mirror, they move. It's a little welcome carpeting. So those also count as M logos. So there's one on either side. So we have a total count of 33 M logos on the outside, inside of the XM. So the headliner is wild in the XM. Watch the startup sequence. You get the M colors. But like the whole like sway, like geometric. It looks like we're in a cave, right?
Yeah, inside of a cave.
It's like boulders. It's really cool. Color. Honey, what color would you like? Green?
Let's go purple.
Purple. You feeling purple right now?
Purple.
Lavender. So all the lighting changes and the ceiling lighting. It's really cool. You can go to a bunch of different color options. Oh, and also the illumination in the Bowers & Wilkins grill, the speaker grill right here. That's so cool. It's like a little flower petal. You see that in the little tweeters up there? Yeah, the upgraded
Cool
Bowers & Wilkins sound system. And you get some
Is it
little
always like
lights.
that?
Yeah, if you have this, like this one, I think it's standard now for the new one, but you see the speaker grills have the illumination. I think it's cool. I think it's cool. All right, let's head home because it's late and we're both pretty tired. Angel's getting her nails done and she's taking the BMW XM. So handing the camera over to you. You're in charge of vlogging now.
Oh no. I finally made it to my nail salon and I do have some thoughts about the BMW XM. So this is, I want to say, the third BMW vehicle I've ever driven. The first two was the X3 and I believe the X5 that we test drove when we were looking for my daily driver, and then we ultimately ended up buying the Porsche Macan. But I will say that this car is not the most comfortable, but it is a ton of fun. It is very powerful. It accelerates really quickly and it's super responsive on the road. So I do love that. And it is just really fun to drive. It makes a lot of loud, rumbly noises. And so it is a lot of fun to drive. And I say this with a smile on my face because I remember when I first met Eddie, I kind of judged him a little bit for having 3 cars. So he had the Z06, the Shelby, and the R8 as well. And in my mind, I was thinking to myself that no one person needs 3 cars. I thought 3 cars was really excessive. But I kind of get it now. I feel like after driving the LC500 and driving these more powerful cars, I understand the appeal in terms of just how fun it is. And it really is the experience that makes it just more enjoyable to have all of these different various vehicles to choose from and to, again, just enjoy, right? So I get it. I think it is a lot of fun. So I do understand higher horsepower cars are more fun to drive on the road. I want to say that I'm likely going to go back on my word because I originally told Eddie that after the CPO expires on my Porsche Macan, I would likely go back to driving quote unquote regular traffic like the RAV4 just because it is just more affordable and I don't want to deal with the higher cost of maintenance, the higher cost of gas and things like that. And to me, I would really rather buy a reliable car that I can drive for 5 to 10 years, but I'm starting to really enjoy these faster cars, the more dynamic handling and all of that good stuff. So I don't really know what we're gonna do. I have no idea what car we're going to get after the Porsche Macan's CPO expires, but we will certainly keep you all updated.
Just like the new M5, this is a plug-in hybrid, so you can do a lot of driving in all-electric mode. I haven't charged it up since I depleted the battery down to, well, it's been at like 3 miles. It'll recharge itself a bit. It won't go fully to 0. So it seems to hover around that 3-mile mark. So you can do a lot of driving in all-electric mode, but then it will kick on the engine at times. Now, if you don't like that, you can control your M hybrid settings. So, and also obviously if you're just in like M1 or a more aggressive drive mode, it will be much more twin turbo V8 and less hybrid spaceship. These seats are really cool though. A secure orange interior, which I've always found amusing. It was called orange because it looks more like red to me, but I guess it's like an orangey red, like a terracotta brick kind of red interior, but some cool stitching, and of course many M logos. They're also heated, cooled, and massage. So the XM does check many luxury boxes. Heck, it has heated and cooled cup holders. Now don't get me wrong, this is a cool SUV. It is actually very fast for its size, right? It 738 horsepower and 738 pound-feet of torque. Yeah, it's 60 in the low 3-second range. It can handle, but it does feel big. And the plug-in hybrid powertrain, overall it is heavier than the X5M Competition, which I think is fantastic. The LCI X5M Competition, oh, that is a badass SUV. Really like that. But it's just a little bit too firm, which makes sense because it's an M. If this thing was just a little bit more comfortable daily driver, then I think maybe I'd be a bit more of a fan of it. But at the same, like I said, it's just a little bit confusing to me personality-wise. Heated and cooled cup holders. I could have one heated and one cooled. Or I could have both heated, both cooled. So, I mean, it's not like it's a refrigerator or like a hot plate, but it'll like keep your coffee a little bit warm or keep your beverage a little bit cool. It's one of those added features. The carbon's actually really cool. It's got blue, red, and white accents woven in. You can see right there. So like the M colored accents in the actual satin carbon trim is pretty cool. And then yeah, XM logo, M logo, M logo. You're not gonna forget you're in an M car. Another M logo. M logo. They're on the door sills, they're on the pillows, they're all over the exterior. There's a lot of M logos. Let's see, I'm the first one at a light, which means I can go into M2. Max attack! Holy crap! That's actually violently fast, yeah. Oh. So yeah, obviously it's not slow, but at the same time, now that the M5 and M5 Touring is out, if I were shopping for something like this, I would get the M5 Touring. Because lower center of gravity, wagon, so just as practical, the same powertrain, and it should be less expensive unless you do some sort of insane BMW individual build or something, right? At 160 grand. The price here, and well, here, the other thing is they were even more expensive. They've actually dropped the price, so I guess it's a better value than it used to be. In terms of design, they haven't really changed this since it came out, and it's definitely a little bit of a polarizing look. It is not subtle, it's rather aggressive, definitely in your face. We've got this contrast black section on the front fascia, absolutely enormous kidney grills that are illuminated, and then we have rather thin DRLs here with the split headlights below and so many M logos. I'm going to try to count all the M logos, but definitely not subtle, rather aggressive, in your face. Lots of openings for airflow and cooling, so right through here, down here, and then right there for channeling air through. Now this color is actually a free color, Dravit Gray. It actually has so much metallic flake. That looks really nice. These are the 22-inch wheels. You can option up to 23s, I believe, but these 22s look pretty cool with the machine contrast, pretty intricate pattern, and then M logo there, M logo on the brake calipers. No air suspension, so it doesn't have adjustable height, but pretty big wheels. This right here is the charging port. So this is a plug-in hybrid, just slower charging, no fast charging needed. It's not that big of a battery. They did up the charging speed to, I believe it's 11 kilowatts. It was 7.4. So you can plug it in overnight, get around 30 miles of range. And look, another M logo with this black contrast stripe that comes along this body line. Another interesting detail is the sculpting. There's like a crystal look effect, like facets. Do you see like the angles on the actual door handle here? It's got a little wing on the door handle, but it's soft closed doors, and then you can lock from the outside, comfort access. We've got the M wing mirrors, a little piece right there. Unlock it. I would have expected like a carbon roof up here, right? Because it's not like there's a panoramic glass roof. You've got that crazy headliner, but something like this should have a carbon roof as your flagship M model. And then back here, taillights. You've got some slashes right here along the side, which I think that's actually pretty cool. And they don't put a BMW logo in the middle. You have the big XM logo. So instead, you have a BMW logo here and right here. And it's actually kind of cool. It's not a sticker. It's etched in. It feels like it's sandblasted. You can feel a texture. So that's a cool touch. It may look like a sticker, but that's actually like etched into the glass itself. Pretty clean back here. It just kind of smoothly cascades down. And then we've got these wild stacked exhaust tips. What are these? Kind of like squashed hexagons. They actually look really cool. The vertically stacked ones there. A little baby fake diffuser back there. Some more contrast black. I mean, it's a look for sure. It is very, very bold, not subtle. And as a flagship M SUV, I guess, it definitely differentiates itself from the rest of the other BMW SUVs. The looks have grown on me. It's just that snoutish, angry looking like face to it and everything. And compared to some other recent car designs, it's actually pretty beautiful in comparison. After Ferrari released the Luce, I think everything is gonna look good now. All right, let's play count the M logos. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, 6 wheel caliper 7, 8, 9 for wheel and caliper 10, 11, so 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, that counts, 22, 23, 24, 25 on the pillow, 26 on the other pillow, 27, 28, 29, and then there's the puddle lamps, 31, 32. Why did I count 33 last time? But anyways, it seems like 32. That's a lot of M logos. All right, let's go for a drive and wrap up final thoughts on what it's been like to live with the BMW XM this week. This thing, as a super SUV, it's still a little bit confusing because it feels like they're like, all right, we're gonna build an M flagship SUV. Let's throw everything at it. Horsepower, torque, yes, you'll have lots of it. 738 horsepower, 738 pound-feet of torque. It can be fast. It's heavy. This thing's like 6,000-ish pounds, right? So that's even heavier than the M5 Touring, which makes sense because same powertrain, but in a bigger SUV package. I mean, this was a preview of the M5 Touring. So when it was like 6,000 pounds, everybody was like, ugh, it's a lot of power and torque, but you feel that weight. And sure enough, the M5 Touring followed this formula, but it's got just so much of everything. Oh, it's also a plug-in hybrid, so you can have electric range, and sometimes it can be fuel efficient, but then it's very heavy and it makes so much power, and then if you don't plug it in, you're gonna get 14 miles per gallon, so yeah. And then it also has so many M logos, and oh, it has some luxury too, and the nice touches, and this and this and that. So it's just like they threw everything possible at it, and the final result is impressive in certain isolated incidents, right? It is really, really fast. This has all the tricks. It's got adaptive suspension, anti-roll bars, it's got an active anti-roll system. I think it also has rear steer, right? So it checks all those boxes to try to make something that weighs so much handle dynamically better. And when you're in full aggression mode, yeah, it's definitely very fast. Off the line, you're never missing for power or torque. It goes. They say 0 to 60 like a low to mid 3-second range, which by today's standards may not sound any fast anymore, but I promise you it's still quick for something this big. And it has all the nice luxury features. It's got massage seats, it's got a very nice sound system, it's got nice tech, the buttons and materials all feel very nice, and it's been just nice to use. Angel drove it. She actually was a pretty big fan of it. She goes, wow, this thing is really fast. And she got back in her Macan, and now she said her Macan feels slow and she wants something faster. She's like, what else is like an XM? I'm like, well, Cayenne Turbo GT, Lamborghini Urus, Audi RS Q8, Aston Martin DBX. Like, there's a lot of these super SUVs now. And when it first came out, I thought the label red, and then they dropped the red, just became label, was really problematic at its price point. It was uncomfortable, it was fast, but felt too isolated. I didn't like it because it was $200,000 essentially, right? I think that was the sticker price of the one I drove. It was very, very expensive. But they have simplified the trims. Gone is the base one in the label, is just this thing. And effectively, that means the price has also dropped by about $30,000. When you had 160 now, still a lot of money, but now it's like, okay, I can see some more interest. Honestly, at 130, or even better, depreciated slightly down to, 100 grand. If it's starting to be comparable price to an X5M Competition, then I'm like, okay, now if you want just the ultimate power and torque and a little bit more of that over-the-top exuberance and the aggression and the looks and the way it stands out and the rarity, then I could really start seeing this justified. Partially because it was very expensive, and also the take rate wasn't necessarily that high. It's rare. They weren't selling that many of these. I thought I saw like 1,400, 1,500 a year or something like that. So it was a low volume model. So if your neighbors all have Cayenne Turbos and Uruses and G-Wagons, and you want to be unique and different and not blend into the crowd of the country club, this would be a good option from that standpoint. I hate to also like all the time bring up cars like, oh, you could buy it to be different, right? Because that's not necessarily a great selling point. But when everybody else has the same thing, sometimes it can be nice to have something a little more unique and different. The powertrain, when you're in everything all combined hybrid system is fine. There have been times where if I'm driving normally, let me see if I can simulate it. If I'm in EV mode, all right, engine just turned off, and I'm like rolling on the accelerator, and all of a sudden I want more, there's like a hesitation, just this split second as the engine's kicking on, and you get this big surge. So that hybrid integration is not my favorite, especially when just normal drive mode, nothing aggressive, leaving a stoplight, I'm like, oh, it's in electric mode, and I'm like, oh, I need to go a little faster, and it just kind of surges, right? the way to solve that is just drive around in M1 all-out aggressive, angry, everything on mode all the time, right? But that was one little complaint. I don't think they tuned it that well on this one, because I've driven some other plug-in hybrids where it's a little bit more seamless, that transition point. What else? This one does have the what's it called? The dynamic package, the driver's package. So you have a little boost lettering there on the minus pedal. When you pull that, you get the massive boost graphics right there, but it goes all out aggressive, over the top. I didn't really do it because there's still cars in front of me and plus turn, but demonstrating right there. It also raises the speed limiter a bit. It's like 175 mile an hour top speed, I think. So yeah, I mean, it's cool. Coming back, revisiting it, I enjoyed it, but I don't love it. The X5M, I'm like, if I had to buy an SUV, like a fast SUV, that is very, very high up on my list. I really, really like the X5M. Partially it was a spec that I had. The BMW team built it fantastically. It was it urban green over Taruma brown interior, individual spec. Oh, that was so good. Such a cool SUV. But this one right here, it makes sense when you're getting those wild lease deals. They were incentivizing these things like crazy. We're talking 20, 30 grand on the hood, and people were getting these things leased for, like, I think I saw some people close to like $1,000 a month, right? Like, those might have been leftover previous model year existing inventory that dealers really were trying to move. And if you lock in one of those, all right, then it's still a really, really cool SUV. Not a ton of changes other than that model line consolidation, the sound system standard. They tweaked things like the light sequence and things like that. But it's definitely very M. Boost. Oh, yeah, okay, that's really fast. It just keeps going. It's very M in the new BMW M formula if you look at the M5 and M5 Touring. I'm waiting to see what these smaller M models are like. I actually haven't driven the new M2 CS yet. I will drive that soon, and the M3 CS manual. So they're still giving us the more nimble, smaller segment cars, which are dynamically pretty awesome. But then the big, insulated, just rocket ship, daily driver M cars, the M5, that's like a different side of M now. But a little bit rambling, wrapping up some final thoughts on living with the XM. It's an interesting option that still leaves you a little bit confused. If I had to summarize it in 3 words, firm, heavy, fast. There we go. Hope you guys enjoy this vlog, living with the BMW XM at 160K, still a lot of money, but definitely better than at 200K. And at 100 to 125K, then I think that could be a really, really interesting option if you're looking at a used one and you want something a little bit different. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.